Welcome to Down to Business with V, a show dedicated to bringing you actionable information to protect you, your families, your businesses, and the community. I'm your host V, and today we're discussing family emergency scams, what they are, how to identify them, and what to do if you're a victim. Let's get down to business.
From Atlanta, Georgia, to becoming a United States Marine, to Washington, D.C., and every place in between, everybody calls me V. My goal is to bring you resources, education, and knowledge from sources you can trust that informs and protects to safeguard our families, our businesses, and the community. Now let's get down to business.
Imagine this. You're at home, you get a call, it's from a family member. They say they're in big trouble, they've been arrested, and they need your help. They're asking for a sum of money to help bail them out or to get them out of trouble. At some point during this call, an authority figure comes on the line. It could be a doctor, it could be a police officer, or a lawyer. And they're also saying, your family member's in big trouble, they need money now, and you're the only one that can help. Also, they say, keep this secret. Don't tell anybody. We want to keep this under wraps. What would you do? Would you send the money? Would you realize it's a scam? Let's hear the story of Pablo de Jesus Colon and his late father, who were targeted by a scam just like that. Let's watch the video.
My dad started off in the Dominican Republic as a DJ 60 some odd years ago. He was the first Dominican actually in the United States to own a radio station. Radio Cumbre has been here for 27 years. We're a family-run business. We're a music format, but we really have a very strong community focus. We're probably close to 40% Hispanic here. It was a Saturday morning, and I got a phone call from my sister. She had gotten a phone call from someone saying that my brother had gotten into a car accident and hit a kid. They needed money to get him out. Not long after that, I'm sitting at my parents' house, and my dad gets a phone call. The person said, "Hey, abuelo, it's your favorite grandson. I'm in Manhattan. I got into a car accident. I need your help." My nephew lives in Florida. He's a college student.
Con artists are very, very good at pretending to be people that they are not. The first thing they do is get you into a state of panic and fear. They don't want you to be thinking very carefully. They'll convince you that your relative is in trouble, somebody that you love is in trouble, and that you can help them. And you can help them by sending money. Don't do it. It's a scam.
It got me really upset, and that's where, I decided, I was like, we've got to come in and do something about this so that other people don't have to do this. What we did was put it in as a news piece during our morning show. We wanted to make the public aware this was happening in our community, that people were getting calls, that the Hispanic community was being targeted.
These scams can target very specific communities. So when it's happening to you, chances are it's happening to people you know, people you love. So tell other people about it, warn them. By talking about it, telling these stories, you're helping to protect not just yourself, but your whole community. Pablo did a terrific thing. He shared his story. He shared it far and wide. He got it on the radio. And by doing that, he reached hundreds, thousands of people who were able to hear about this scam. Once you know about the scam, you can avoid it.
We also heard there from Monica Vaca, from the Bureau of Consumer Protection, from the FTC. This scam is often regarded as a grandparent scam, but if you noticed in the video, Pablo's sister was contacted first. So that's a sign that this scam could happen to anyone. Anyone, regardless of age, could be a target. Also, you might have recognized that the malicious actors knew a lot about their target. They knew the family member's name. They knew to contact the sister. They knew that there was an abuelo, a grandfather, involved. How did they know this information? All of that was gleaned, quite possibly from social media sites. Anything that you post on any social media site can be used as a way to target you. Can you tell us a little bit more about, how they're getting this information? We know that they've got some sort of convincing information about a family member. they got it from social media. How are they getting that?
They're getting it by just browsing through all social media platforms. If they are successful in a more advanced cyber criminal, and they actually successfully hack into an account or hack into your email. A lot of people don't realize you typically have maybe 1 to 2, maybe 3 emails total, and everything from your shopping online to your work emails is all connected. So if they do get into your work emails or your personal one, then there is a never-ending amount of information in there that they will then use on the phone scam to make you think that they are who they say they are.
This is a classic example of social engineering, where malicious actors go onto your social media sites, they get your information, and then they use it against you. We talked a little bit about what we post online, our daily habits, our vacation habits. Talk to us about some precautions that we can take when we're posting online and how that information can be used by cyber criminals.
So a lot of people with today's social media always like to post what they're doing at the moment, where they are at the moment, and where they are not at. So when they are doing that, they are painting a very well picture for criminals to make them a victim. So whether, if they are posting that they are at the airport and going on vacation and can't wait to see mom and grandpa up north, well, they know, local criminals now know that you are no longer at your home. And they take that opportunity to then burglarize your house, burglarize personal belongings of yours, and it can get really messy when you start doing that.
For sure. And I know we talked about it a little bit earlier. Even if you wanted to post those things, maybe posting them later, a week later, after you've actually come back from the vacation.
Right.
Versus those real-time posts.
Yeah, real-time posts, it's real-time, so you can only be at one spot at a time. And if someone is trying to find you, that can be very dangerous as well. If they want to find you and do something harmful to you, they know where you're at. And then if they want to do something where you are not at to your property, it's real time. So I would definitely recommend, even if in the next day, even if it's, if you want to say 24 hours, just not real time.
Another way that fraudsters and malicious actors are gleaning information about you is through hijacking email accounts. This could happen to anyone. I've actually heard several accounts of people close to me or people I know that this has actually happened to, where the malicious actor will take the email, hijack it, use the information from social media, and then create a whole email. So we're going to jump back in and start to talk a little more about what we were discussing earlier with the social engineering, the social media scams, and how our citizens can protect themselves when they're online. So if you would tell us a little bit about some of the current scams that are going on. I know we talked about the Bondsman Scam.
Yes, so in this area, there's a large amount of them. Someone will call and pose as a bondsman saying, hey, your brother Jeff, he's in jail and you need to pay his bond. And then the family member, of course, is overwhelmed in the situation and very surprised in the situation. And the fact that the bondsman might know their brother's name and brother's birthday, and to them that seems real enough, and then they give them the money that they're asking for. A way to protect yourself in that situation. If you do get a call like that, you can always call the Pensacola Police Department. You can call your local law enforcement and you can ask, hey, is this person currently incarcerated? Did they get arrested today? The local law enforcement agency that they're saying that person did get arrested in, your local law enforcement agency will be able to answer that question for you and should be able to advise you that that's not the way that business is done when someone has to pay a bond, so you hopefully don't fall into that scam. And they'll also try to do it with warrants as well. So they'll call saying, hey, you have a warrant. If you don't pay this amount of money right now to us, then we're going to come and arrest you. And that's just not how law enforcement operates.
The other thing about Pablo's story is that he told someone. His sister told someone, he told someone, and then they took the information that they had to the appropriate authorities. Because they did this, they were able to bring this segment to you today to help warn you and to help warn the world. Additionally, Pablo took the platform that he and his father, on their radio station, and they took that information to the masses. In doing so, they're helping prevent crime and helping prevent victimization in places that they don't even know that they might have reached. And that's the opportunity that you have. Once you know what these scams are, how to identify them, and how to report them, not only are you helping you're helping your family, you're helping businesses, your community, the neighbors next to you. You're preventing scams from continuing and stopping malicious actors. In his account, Pablo mentioned that the malicious actors were targeting the Hispanic community. And they are, but they're also targeting every other community, regardless of race, religion, creed, national origin. The malicious actors don't see race. They don't see color. They only see one color, and that's green. Money green. Before we go to break, I'd like to say a special thank you to the team at the Federal Trade Commission for the content and the information they provided today. I'd like to extend special gratitude for the work that you do on a daily basis to help combat fraud. We appreciate you. When we come back, we'll break down this scam and show you how to identify the red flags. And later in the show, if you've been a victim of a scam, we'll tell you who to report it to and how. Also, ever wonder if there's any recourse if you've paid a scammer? We'll provide you with tips and information that could help you get your money back. Stay tuned.
Every organization is responsible for ensuring cybersecurity. The ability to protect its information systems from impairment or even theft is essential to success. Implementing effective security measures will not only offer liability protection, it will also increase efficiency and productivity. With our cybersecurity workshop, your participants will understand the different types of malware and security breaches. Develop effective prevention methods which will increase overall security. They'll also understand the basic concepts associated with cybersecurity and what a company needs to stay secure.
Find out more about training for you and your organization at vicargroup.com.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back to Down to Business with V. Today we've been discussing family emergency scams, what they are and how to detect them. A little earlier we heard from Pablo de Jesus Colon and his family who were targeted by this exact scam. We also heard what they did as a result and how they reported it. Would you be able to recognize this scam if you were targeted? Would you know the telltale signs? Would you know to whom to report it, as well as what to report? We'll discuss that in just a few minutes. But first, as promised, we'll review the red flags. And later, we'll walk you through how to report it and whom to report it to, as well as what to do if you're a victim who paid a scammer. Let's get down to business. As we stated earlier, the scammer may already know a lot about you, and that information could have come from email that has been hacked, either yours or the family members. It could have also come from social media sites, but the scammer has information about you that he's using against you. So here's what we found, is that sometimes they want you to pay immediately, which is a huge red flag. If they're asking you to send them a money order, to wire funds, to use a gift card or a reloadable card, this is huge. So right now we're going to go through and look at a few more of the red flags so that you are equipped, prepared, and empowered to identify these and to prevent being a victim. Let's take a look. All right, so they ask you to pay right away. As we said, by wiring money, sending a money order, paying with gift cards, reloadable cards, and even cryptocurrency. These fraudsters and malicious actors know that once you send this money, generally it's gone. So they're trying to get the money fast before you can recognize that it's a scam, and in a way that will prevent you from getting money back. The next red flag is they generally include an authority figure. So they might tell you that the lawyer's here. The lawyer might want to talk to you. They might even bring in a fake police officer to tell you, hey, listen, we've got your family member, they're in big trouble, we need your help. Or they'll bring in a fake doctor in some cases. Sometimes in these emergency scams, they're saying that the family member's been injured or they've injured someone else. And they're bringing in all of these people in order to add an air of legitimacy to all of this. So be on the lookout for the red flag of the authority figure. Pay attention to this portion because this is to get you to act quickly. The next thing they tell you is that it's urgent. You've got to do it now, you've got to act now, and you're the only one that can help. You are the person that they are targeting, and they want you to feel as if you don't act, something bad's going to happen. If you don't act, the family member is going to remain in jail. Or if you don't act, someone might be in big legal trouble. So pay attention to the red flag of it's urgent. If they're telling you it's urgent, slow down, take a breath, and don't fall prey. One of the biggest red flags is they want you to keep it a secret. The authority figure or the fake family member might state, you're the only one that can help, keep this a secret, don't tell anyone. Or the authority figure might say, we're trying to keep this hush-hush. If you just send the money, we can help your family member out. In other words, they want you to keep it a secret because if you actually talk to other people, they could identify that you're being targeted by a scam. Pay very close attention. If anyone ever asks you to keep it a secret, it's a sign that you're being targeted by a scammer. So here's what you do if you're ever targeted. Resist the pressure to act. If it's a phone call, go ahead and hang up. If it's an email, don't answer it. You'll also want to contact the family member that they're saying that's in trouble. Contact them at a number that you know that you can trust. That phone number is one that you have on file with you, that you have in your Rolodex, in your cell phone. Contact them at a number that you know. Don't contact them at a number that the scammer provided or that was provided to you on that phone call. Why? Because if you contact them at that number, you're potentially contacting the scammer and not your family member. Also, contact another family member or a family friend to do a fact check. Call a family member that knows this person and say, hey, listen, is so-and-so in trouble? Have you heard from them? Are they in this city or this state? Just make sure you know the whereabouts of the family member and can corroborate the story with someone else. If they're actually in trouble, someone else is likely to know. If they're actually in another state or another city, another family member is likely to know. Or if they've been in an accident, another family member is likely to know. But don't act alone on the information that you receive from that phone call. Here's some other information. If you paid a scammer, here are some options that could help you get your money back. As I stated earlier, scammers are generally getting you to send funds very quickly if you're being targeted by a scam, and they want it sent in ways that are untraceable by law enforcement or in ways that will be almost impossible to get back. So if you've been a victim of a scam, you want to act as quickly as possible. The first things you'll want to do is identify the method that you've paid. If you paid by credit card or debit card, you'll want to contact the bank or the credit card issuer. Let them know that there was a fraudulent charge on the account and ask them to reverse the transaction and give you your money back. Depending on how quickly you contact them, they may be able to do this for you. If you have done an authorized or unauthorized transfer from your bank account, that's like an ACH transfer, automatic clearinghouse transfer. Contact your bank or your financial institution and tell them it was an unauthorized debit or withdrawal. Ask them to reverse the transaction and see if they can help you get your money back. Again, time is of the essence, so the quicker you act, the more likely you are to get these funds back. If you used a gift card to pay the scammer, contact the company that issued the gift card. Tell them it was a scam and ask if they can refund the money. Keep the gift card itself and keep the gift card receipt because that could be used by law enforcement to help you in your case. If money was sent via a wire transfer, via Western Union or MoneyGram, contact the wire transfer company. If you wired it through your financial institution, contact them. If it was through Western Union or MoneyGram, contact them. Let them know it was fraudulent and ask them to reverse it. And we've given you the number here for MoneyGram at 800 MoneyGram and Western Union at 800-325-6000. Contacting them as soon as possible could result in you getting your money back. If there is a wire transfer via your financial institution, contact them and let them know. If it was a money transfer app, report the fraudulent transfer to the company that is the owner of the app and ask if they can reverse the payment. If you're using cryptocurrency, contact that company and ask them if there's a way that the transaction can be reversed. If you sent cash, there are a number of ways that you want to report that this has happened. If you sent it via U.S. mail, you'll want to contact the U.S. Postal Inspection Service and ask them to intercept the package. They have a very special service and a process that allows them to intercept packages in cases like this. If you used another delivery service, contact them and ask them about an intercept service as well. The one thing that is very important to realize here is that time is of the essence. So the sooner you realize that you've been scammed and the sooner you contact them, the more likely you are that they are able to take steps to help you get your money back. There are no guarantees with this. However, these are ways that you can report to see if the option is available to reverse a transaction, to track a transaction, reverse it, or to intercept it, as in the case of the postal services. So these are just a few of the ways that you can look at getting your money back. Again, there are no guarantees, but being equipped with this information could result in a reversal if you paid a scammer and helping you to recoup those funds. Because a lot of people don't know how to report these scams or who to report them to, we want to give you that information today. So we're going to show you a short video of how to report a scam like this or any other scam to the FTC. We're going to take you to the website, reportfraud.ftc.gov, actually pull up a report form and walk you through all of the information that will be requested of you when you file your report so that you know what will be expected during that process. Let's look at that video now.
Today we're going to show you how to report fraud on the ftc.gov website. You can see that we're there now, clicking report. We're choosing the type of fraud that we're reporting. In this case, it's a family emergency scam. They were pretending to be somebody. We have several options here that we can choose who they were pretending to be. In this case, it was a grandchild. And then we're going to report additional details. How much money was sent to the scammer, how we sent it. Here we're going to select credit card. There are other options there. The date that the transaction occurred, how we first got the call or learned about the product or service, the phone number that we're asked to call back. Here we're just going to use the information phone number for the sake of this. And then we have other telemarketing violations. I'm in the do not call registry. No caller ID was displayed, things like that. So you'll be able to select those as well. Here you can put your phone number in. It's going to be required for the filing. And in this case, we're going to use that information phone number just for the sake of this demonstration. It autofills when the call was, so you can correct that if needed. And then you can add some additional details about the company or scammer, whatever it is that you know, the name of the person that you dealt with. And if you have any other information, you can select yes if you do. It's going to ask you things like where their country is and their mailing address and phone number. Here we're going to select no, and then we'll just fill in the details that the scammer called. They pretend to be a police officer and ask for money. And we indicate whether we are filing the report on behalf of ourselves or someone else. Enter our details or that person's details if you're filing for someone else. Mailing address, city, state, and zip code. It's going to ask for an age range here as well. You'll, of course, put your age, your military status, whether you're a veteran, whether you're active duty, a spouse. We're going to select veteran in our case. This is what will populate, just your rank and your branch of service will be requested there. And then you can also indicate whether you're filing on behalf of a small business. If you are, you can enter that information there. Just the name is required, and then click submit. And that's how you would file with the FTC.
If you'd like to sponsor Down to Business with V, or if you'd like to be a guest, or if you have show ideas, be sure to email us at show@dtbwithv.com. I'd like to thank Pablo de Jesus Colon and his family yet again for sharing their story with us, as well as the team at FTC.gov, the Federal Trade Commission. I'd also like to thank our team here, Stephen, Quentin, Peter, Emmanuel, Suzanne, and Doug, for making today's show happen. We hope it was informative, we hope it was educational, and you're now empowered to identify these scams, to be able to take action to prevent yourself from being a victim or someone else you know. I'm V, and this is Down to Business. We'll see you next time.